morning, everybody. We are trundling around. It's just before 5:30 on Rietspruit Game Reserve. In the morning, of course, the sun is still coming up on our east, so it's morning. And we have set out this morning, Andrew and I, Andrew's on camera. We've set out this morning hoping, firstly, that we can catch up with the Rietspruit Pride, the lionesses. They were seen last night, which is a great start. And they weren't far from where we are now, which is an even better thing. And then what we'll do is we will... I thought I saw something on the road. I'm lying. I'm going crazy. But we will look for them and spend some time in their territory. Almost the entire reserve is their territory, so we'll see if we get lucky. And then maybe what we'll do is kind of angle northeast, perhaps even as far northeast as we can go towards the fence line, where we will, if we get that far, look around for our cheetah brothers who were on Kaya last night. So they were in our top eastern corner. We don't actually drive on that part of the reserve, but they usually come down and then they follow the fence for a little bit as part of their territorial patrol. So I'm hoping that we can catch up with them. I don't know if you can hear it on the ambient mic, but there's a migrant bird calling. That's a red-chested cuckoo, also known as a pitmevrou. We've given animals very strange names in South Africa. Pitmevrou translates to Peter, my wife. But they're one of our cuckoos. They're a migrant. They've arrived. They've actually been back quite a while now. Of course, it's the middle of December. I keep forgetting. Summer still feels new because our rains were a little later than we anticipated. Nice to hear a cuckoo. It's nice to be out this early in the morning. Got to learn to drive. Nice to be out this early in the morning when you can hear all the different birds going. I didn't nail it that time. And sometimes they go really fast and they go. It was a bird call I knew from when I was a young child, but I never knew it was called a red-chested cuckoo. I just thought it was a pitmevrou. Fro. I sound like a real English person trying to speak Afrikaans when I say that, don't I? Oops, oops, oops. Some pervert monkeys on the road. We'll see if we park a little further. They're not going to sit still for us. They are running away. No, they're gone. It's almost as if they weren't here. But they were. We saw them. Alrighty, so the Pride were left at Lowveld last night. They did have a visit from the elephants, so that might have encouraged them to move on a little bit or get active and get going with their day. But if they'd had something to eat and they were feeling really full and they didn't really have any necessity to get going, they would have probably spent the night in that area. So it'll be a good place for us to start. And then we'll take it from there. They've also been coming south for the last few days. So If we don't find them at Leopard Dam, we might actually find them in similar areas to where we want to look for cheetah, but this maybe along the southern fence. So we'll keep an eye out. Hopefully they'll roar, because a loud lion is much easier to find than a quiet lion. I wonder what's going on or where our cheetah brothers when they'll come back. I've been looking forward to seeing them. I haven't actually seen them in quite a while. So it would be particularly nice for me if they would emerge. Even better if they did so hungry. It would be lovely to see them and catch up with them again. There's so much seasonal water around, it's incredible. The bush is thick and the water is dispersed, so finding things becomes more of a challenge. We like a good challenge, so it's no problem. And the mornings are perfect. Perfect times to be out, to look, to listen. Hello, you're very pregnant. I hope she stands for us. She's not going to. That female moving off on the left is ready to have her lamb. Oh, never mind. She's moved off. Oh well. This herd will soon have a few gorgeous little lambs among it. They are late this season. Or rather, they are just not so synchronized this season. Yeah, if you think about the fact that some females are still heavily pregnant and others gave birth in the beginning of November, there's this long, drawn-out lambing season that we're experiencing on this reserve with our impalas, and that's actually not a good thing. Not a good thing at all, because the more spaced out the arrivals of the lambs are, the more predators can pick them off. When you flood the market with tiny little vulnerable lambs, the predators can only eat so many. The lighting is so beautiful now. So the predators can only eat so many before they gain a significant amount of strength. And then they're outside of that really vulnerable phase and age. But when they are staggered, their arrival is staggered, feeding is also staggered for the predators, and so it's just a little bit more, it's a little bit trickier for them to get their offspring to the first year mark. Once they make it to 1, their survival rates increase, although the young males still have a tough time until they're about 3. And then they become quite vulnerable after 3 in the rutting season because, well, they have other priorities. They focus on fighting and breeding, which means that they don't really spend as much time looking out for danger or keeping themselves in good condition as they should. So at the beginning of the rut, the males are big and they look beautiful and they're just huge. Sometimes they even look pregnant because they are in such good nick. And then by the middle and the end of the rut, they've neglected to feed themselves and they look scrawny and they've been fighting and expending a lot of energy, and so then they're vulnerable to predators again. It's a never-ending cycle for the impalas, and they're always vulnerable. I love being out so early. I think we are the only people on this reserve this morning. I'm sure others are just about to get onto their car. Usually 5:30 is game drive time for commercial camps. Even if they don't go out at 5:30, they'll meet for tea. So I expect in the next 10-15 minutes we should have buddies joining us on the reserve, but it's nice to be out before anyone and everyone else. Means we get to hear peace and quiet and no radio sounds. Okay, we're heading towards Lowveld. I always want to call it Leopard Dam because I'm English. But there actually are English named dams. Leopard Dam is on, I think, Kaya. So we have to say Lowveld to be able to distinguish between which Leopard Dam we're actually talking about. I don't think I've driven this road since the recent rains, and it's certainly a little bit more undulating than I remember. It's a good sign. At the moment there's no tracks coming on the road, coming down on the road, so we haven't missed them anywhere. If they were going to go to the fence, I mean, there's a number of ways they could go. Oh my goodness. There's a number of ways that they could use to get to the southern boundary of the property. But I think that a road is the most likely option because they have a lot less to contend with. The bush is thick this time of the year. The parasite load is higher than it is in other times of the year. And so animals tend to use roads or game trails because then they don't have to they don't pick up as many parasites, firstly. And it's easier to walk on the road than it is to walk through the thicket. Think about thorns and stones and things like that. Ooh. Don't worry, you can stay where you are. I'm just looking at what's been left on the road in front of us. A porcupine quill. So this will have been from our largest rodent out here, porcupine. Probably dropped in the night. That's where it would have gone into the follicle. It's just like a really, really robust piece of hair. But these are actually more for show. These ones, they'll raise up on the back of the porcupine and the porcupine will reverse into something that it's threatened by. But at the bottom, there's actually thicker, more pointy quills underneath these show quills that those are the ones that impale and do more damage. This can definitely do damage, don't get me wrong. But it's part of the display at the back to make them look really big, and then when they're reversing, also to terrify the animal that's threatening them, or the thing that's threatening them. So that's nice to have as a pointer. I've already got a pointer. I will return it to the wild at some point. Let's see. You can see here the difference in thickness. So this is more likely to be a damaging quill than this one. See the girth of this one is actually almost double the girth of this one. So they would be kind of like this. So this one would be for show, and this one would be for serious business. I've actually seen a few porcupines on this reserve, which is nice because they're not always that easy to see. And of course they're nocturnal, so that one would have probably been roaming around in the night after dark last night, finding things to feed on. Why's my car not going? Because your handbrake's up? Silly girl. I do hope they're here, but I think it's unlikely that they're here. It's really quiet. I can't believe this.
I don't think anyone's out.
Jake should be out.
Yeah, anything, Jake's kept. It's crazy quiet. Maybe everyone needed to sleep.
Maybe everybody's asleep. Hold on. Engage your core. There's old elephant dung on the road, but that's not from yesterday. That's from a while ago. I guess as we approach the dam and the area around the dam where the elephants were last night with the lions, I would expect that there would be fresher dung. Nope. All right, we are approaching the dam. I still haven't seen any tracks of these lions. Not seeing these lions either. It's always optimistic to think that lions are going to be in the same area that you left them the night before. But by the same token, it's always good to check.
Good morning, Station Jake, mobile and Ledrick, standing by.
Morning, Jakes. It's just myself out. There's no updates yet.
2 male cheetahs were left unattended on the eastern fence line at that point in time at the Wildebeest Junction, but I've just gone past there, no sign of them yet. But that's the only sighting.
Oh, let's go look for the cheetah. They were seen apparently this morning.
Copy things, Andre. Can you just confirm the amount of people on Blowbank?
I think we should go and have a look.
0 on Blowbank. Copy, thanks, Andre.
We didn't get that update because, well, we didn't get a radio update. We thought we were the only ones out. But the cheetah were seen exactly where we said we should go and look for them. So we're quite far from that area now, but I think let's just make a beeline. It would be really, really nice to see them again. I'm going to lose my beanbag. It's better. Okay, let's slowly get into that area. I imagine if I know these boys, and I've learned them in the last 3.5 months, they like to spend time on the fence. So if they're no longer where they were left earlier this morning, I assume that it's because they are actually coming further south along the fence. They've spent quite a bit of time on, well, they've spent, quite a lot of time on Kaya in the last 4 days or so. So I think it's time for them to maintain their territory on Blowbank, which is the biggest part of the reserve. It's the part that we're currently on. We're in the bottom left corner, or the southwestern corner, and they're in the northeastern corner. But I think if we focus, we could get into that area in 15, 20 minutes. And then we'll start our search. It would be awesome, actually. Awesome. And while we're on our way, pack members, if you belong to the Painteddog TV pack, you are entitled to our image of the festive season. It's not the week, it's of, woohoo, and the lion tracks head this way too. Sorry there, Andrew. Nice, 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 nice. I'm gonna go to that one over there so you can just show, and I wanna show there's a few of them that have moved here. So I think these might be best for you. Higher up, I can go further up.
Anything, this one right here.
Oh, that's fine. Okay, here, lion track. Not too big, not too lazy. So this is a female track. You can see the toes here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 beautiful lobes at the back that come into a flat plateau underneath the toes, and then join back there. Lioness, there's at least 3 sets of tracks here. So we will follow this road up and see if we have any sign of these lions. We know they would have moved sometime between 7 p.m. yesterday and now. They do look like they haven't moved right now. But who's to say? Who's to say?
If I can hear a male lion roaring, it sounds like they're bumping into crossing the river.
Lots of people out. No one just gave us an update. We thought we were here alone. Okay, these girls have definitely moved here. There's also fresh elephant dung and tracks and signs. Who knows? Maybe they'll be on the Boskamp airstrip. They like that area. Suddenly the morning feels like it's absolutely full of potential. With our lion tracks heading in exactly the same direction as us, with elephant tracks and signs and dung all over, with cheetah that have been seen in the northeastern corner. Who knows what we could see and find? Okay. I think the elephants have walked here after the lions. A lot more. There was a lot more elephant activity on the road than lion tracks. There's still a lion track. Where are you? Okay, so the tracks are actually no longer on the road. But that's not a bad thing. They were heading north. They should be still moving in the direction that we're moving in. If they were moving in the middle of the night or later in the evening yesterday and they came across something that drew their attention, like a kudu or a nyala or a giraffe, that they thought, oh, it would be nice to try and hunt you, they can quickly be pulled off their track. But then they will, well, not always, but a lot of the time, if they have a plan, they'll kind of come back and get back on track to move into their area. Where did he go? Oh. I wanted to try and put an African hoopoo on camera. I think I was talking to you about our keyword. And then I got utterly distracted by lion tracks and people on the radio and the threat of male cheetahs and the promise of an exciting morning out. But if you are a pack member of ours, you know what to do because you've been here a while. But you need to email WOO, which is our festive season keyword, to info@painteddog.tv, and we will send you the high resolution image of the spotted eagle owl that should be on screen next to me right now. And then if you're not one of our pack members and you'd really like a copy of that image, you're just gonna have to become one of our pack members. There's an elephant here, everybody. There's actually a lot of elephants here, everybody. Andrew's such a demanding camera. No. There's another one on our left in here. So we have a few elephant bulls around us. That is our big bull. Oh, there's a giraffe and a zebra. My goodness, everything's happening all around us.
Mobile, standing by.
There's a few elephants I can hear.
Morning, Glenn. These stations on Lowveld. Male cheetah on the eastern fence line of Lowveld near Lowveld of South Africa.
We are completely surrounded by wild animals right now, everybody. There's a couple of giraffe. In the distance, we won't put them on now, but there's zebra, and of course there's this beautiful elephant bull. There's at least 2 elephant bulls here. Stations, there are 2 elephant bulls, Leopardam Oos, just to the south of the junction with Snail Lane, stationary feeding. Look at the size of this elephant now. It seems to me that we have 2 elephants in this area. Now, we could have more. All 3 of our elephant bulls are relatively large. We have 3 on this reserve. Because we're a small fenced reserve, we actually know how many we have. We're a substantially sized reserve, actually, but we are conservative with our animal numbers. So, oh, he's going to break this whole branch off, I think. Let's watch him. Nope, he decided against it. He's actually watching us, I think. Stopped feeding. He's really not feeding. He's just watching. It's almost like he's pulled back the curtain to be able to peep out and see. If he comes here, I'm going to move at a certain point. I'm not having him. A little bit of attitude in his step there. Has also got some temporal secretions. Okay. Oh, giraffe are running away behind us. I wonder if the other elephant's giving the giraffe a hard time. Our elephants are a little bit spirited, shall we say. Look at the strength in this bull. Watch how he's using his tusk as leverage now. Oh my goodness. That's amazing. One tree less on the Rietspruit Game Reserve. And now he's eating the root. Or trying to eat the root. Fantastic. See how he's stripping? He wants that layer of cambium where the xylem and phloem exist. Go back to your high school biology lessons, you might remember the xylem and phloem. But he's actually not going to eat that entire piece. He's going to strip the outer layer. He's going to feed on the outer layer. It's just a shame that he's pushed over a massive, or at least a decent sized tree just to eat its root. But also look how far the root extends from where the tree was growing. Pretty amazing. It's possible he's coming into must. No, I don't think so. Initially I thought he had a little bit of a wet tip to his penis, but that's not actually entirely true. So he does have some temporal secretions behind his eyes. It's just a sign that he could be feeling a little bit agitated. But he could also be feeling other things. The temporal secretion is a misunderstood feature of an elephant. He is secreting, and that tells us that he's feeling an emotion. It doesn't necessarily mean that the emotion is negative, but the way he stormed over to the next tree made me think he did have a little bit of a point to prove, which means he could be a little bit otherwise. Check behind us. Oh, it's a giraffe. We have a whole bunch of giraffes too. See, now if you watch closely, he's actually turning the root. He's going to be swiveling it in his mouth so that he can strip what's nutritious from it and leave the rest. There you go. You see that stripping? This is why elephants are known as ecosystem engineers. He just decided, you know what, that tree didn't work for me. And so he removed it. What have you heard, Andrew? I also thought so, but I don't think it was. Maybe it was the elephant's stomach. It just sounded far away and it sounded like one. Not more than that though, so He's settled down quite a lot, yeah. So we've got another beautiful scene in front of us. And we're just going to take you away from this elephant pool for a second. We'll have a look at what we have here. We have a giraffe and zebra. Actually, it's quite common to see these two charismatic species together. 4 giraffe and a bunch of zebra. A dazzle of zebra, as they're known. Or a herd. They're all enjoying the morning. And they're enjoying the new grass that's growing. This was one of our burn sites, and our burn sites typically, when they flush after the rain, they are a zebra, well, not so much a giraffe, yes, a giraffe, but all of the grazers love the burnt areas. But that, and it's cool. So we're seeing the giraffe feeding on the canopies, eating the leaves. And then, of course, the zebras grazing behind them, enjoying the new grazing lawns. Both of them are very gregarious species. They like the company of other members of their species. That framing is super cool now with the zebra in between the giraffe's legs. But nothing lasts out here. Oh, definitely a male zebra, definitely a stallion over there. He's making sure we don't confuse him with a mare. Now, I can't see because we're far away, but this will either be one of 2 groupings of zebra. It's either going to be a number of young stallions together who haven't yet got their own harem, or it's going to be this stallion and his females who make up his harem. Looks to be like that. It looks like that's a female. I'm trying to see beneath the tail where the males have a lot less black skin revealed underneath the tail than the females do. This is so cool. Pretty much 3 of Africa's most iconic herbivores, if not the most iconic African herbivores, all in front of us or surrounding us. The elephants are a little bit further back. Anyway, if this is a harem, which I think it could be, then each female in this harem will have a rank, and they hold their rank based on when they were acquired by the stallion. So the oldest, or the first female he acquires, will be the most dominant female. The second female he acquires will be the second most dominant female, and so so it goes. And when they walk, when they move from place to place, they actually walk in that order. So the first female will walk first, the second female second, third one third, and then he'll walk at the back, making sure that nobody's coming to steal his ladies. This elephant's dust bathing now behind us. Should I straighten up here? No. Okay. That's cool. He's covering his skin with the soft sand. And he'll do that mainly to deter parasites. Of course, now he's stopped. He looks like he's playing with the roots there. And perhaps he'll feed on them. Nope. Okay. Everything he does with a little bit of attitude. I think, Andrew, what do you think? I think we should try and make for the eastern corner. Yeah, we're going to leave this beautiful scene. It's been amazing. But we're going to kind of head past the elephants, past the zebra and giraffe, towards the last area the cheetah was seen. I don't have my handbrake on. Very low revving vehicle. So you find yourself switching on and switching off far more times than you would anticipate. Stations, I'm going to be leaving these two elephant bulls to themselves. They're still around the junction of Lemmendoor and Oos and Snail Lane. That was nice. I thought that the tracks of the elephants were significantly fresher than the lions. Oh. Somebody's just waking up here. Usually this is how giraffes will rest for the evenings. They don't sleep with their head down. They go down like this on their haunches. This is cool. Now he seems to be very relaxed with us. He's not making any effort to move. But it's a great display. So the reason they can't lie with their heads down is because their blood pressure is double that of any other animals.
On Blowbunk, I think number 4.
And he has an ox picker. On the tippy top of his head. Maybe he'll get up for us. Doesn't seem like he's in any rush to wake up this morning. But like I was saying, so giraffes actually have to keep their head above their heart because of the way their anatomy works. With their incredibly long neck, they need a very powerful heart to be able to pump blood to the brain. And that's a complex process for a giraffe. But when they lie down, all the valves that work on gravity and on pressure are thrown out. So you don't want a giraffe to lie down flat. Also, if a giraffe's lying down flat, they are very vulnerable. They need their neck. They need their neck as leverage to be able to flick their body up. And if they are lying down and something like a lion hops on their neck and pounces on them, even one lion could kill a giraffe if they can anchor it around the neck. So they wouldn't risk it. There's too many risk factors involved to lie flat. They'll just sleep sitting up. Also, it must be said that sleep, as we know it, is very different to the sleep experienced in the animal kingdom. There's a raptor calling. It sounds like a goshawk. Might be We'll have to see. It just keeps distracting me every time it calls. I'm like, where are you? But anyway, so sleep in the animal kingdom is very different to sleep in humans as we experience sleep for a number of reasons. Firstly, humans sleep or should sleep between 7 and 8 hours a day. And that is because we have incredibly high brain functioning in some of us. But our brains are working a lot harder, and our cognitive abilities are just that much more, and that is exhausting. And so we need more sleep for restoration. And then the other thing is that in most contexts, we are safer than the animals are at night. We have the luxury of shutting out the world and in our existence for about 7 or 8 hours. And that's something that if you live in an environment where other animals are trying to kill you and you have no way of separating yourself or making yourself secure against them, you're not going to sleep as much. So sleep is a precious gift out here, but it's never experienced in long 8-hour chunks like humans get to experience it. A giraffe will nap for an hour if it's lucky, and then it'll carry on with its day and stop and nap for another hour.
Good morning, station Orel Mobile. I have an objective.
So, I mean, and they all have different ways of doing it. Well, lions are quite ridiculous. They can sleep for up to 20 hours. But even in that time, they're not dead asleep. They'll wake up and they'll walk 2 steps and they'll flop down and they'll fall asleep again. Although they sleep for about an hour, about 20 hours. I'm talking about lions, not this giraffe. Although they sleep for about 20 hours, it's very broken sleep and not very deep sleep. I'm kind of hoping he gets up, but I definitely don't want to. Yeah, he's going to. Look at that. Whoa. So cool. That was so cool. He used his back legs first. I keep saying he. Yeah. He used his back legs first and then flung the front legs forward too. It is a male. I don't know why I second guessed myself. Oh, got a bit of a limp. Are you feeling a bit stiff? Do you have pins and needles after your nap? Now he's cleaning his nostrils out with his tongue. Only a giraffe can be forgiven for doing something as disgusting as cleaning its nostrils out with its tongue. Alrighty. Thanks for that, dude. We'll leave him and see if we're gonna make it to the cheetahs. They haven't been found again, but I'm sure they're in that area. Oh, this was a very productive little patch of Rietspruit. Goodbye. The morning drive is such a beautiful thing. So is an afternoon drive. Morning, morning. Go have a, yeah, they are. They were heading just a little bit west, but you should find them there. Actually on Lowveld of South Africa, but like just at that junction.
Have fun.
You too. They want to get there. They want to find those elephants. Now, where to find the cheetah brothers? Ooh. Lots of dung around here. Next time we see it, we'll stop. Because all of the dung beetles are converging around fresh patches of dung. I hope we do find them. Would have been good to have a little bit more information on these cheetah brothers as to whether or not they've eaten recently, if they're looking full or if they're hungry, because that will dictate what the primary objective of their morning patrol incorporates. I just want to, this is an area, we don't go much beyond this point.
Join you there about 7-8 minutes out.
I just want to have a look to see if there's any lion activity here. Oh, I thought they were there, but actually it's a fallen over tree. No, it doesn't look like it. Okay. Okie dokie. This is an area where at the moment, my favorite trio are hanging out. 3 rhinos have been spending time in this area. 2 of them are the orphans, Lula and Kalula. And they have just been enjoying the airstrip. That's why it's fenced, so you notice a fence here. There's still ample reserve to the east of the fence and to the west of the fence, but this is kept like this for the aeroplanes. I wonder what's going on. There's a vervet monkey running around at the top of this hill. It's tricky to get them. Let's see if I get a bit closer and still carries on behaving normally. Then I'll switch off and we'll see if we can get them. But he's running around in circles pretty much. Maybe he's just playing, but I didn't see another monkey that he was playing with. He's gone. That's so funny. Oh, there he is. I don't think it's going to be very easy to put that vervet monkey on camera. No, don't worry. He's on the road. Scampering off, you've got him. He's in the middle of your... And he's gone. Well, at least you know I'm not telling a lie, buddy. Telling a little fib. But he was far away. Maybe he just got separated from his troop and got a bit confused with the fences. But he's moved off. And so will we. Moving off. I wonder where they are. Lula and Kalula. Can any session confirm whether the two cheetah males have been relocated?
Negative, I gave up on them. The tracks moved up and down on the fence line, but I think they went into the block.
Okay. I think we need to head into that area and have a look. The last person with them said that they gave up on them. But I think we shouldn't give up just yet. They...
Focus on leaving the line sighting.
Oh, it sounds like they found a lion. I entirely missed that update. At Seskant Krip, which is on the other side of the reserve, of course. I wonder if it's a male or the females. We have a speedy little friend. A speedy little friend indeed. This is a leopard tortoise. And we've been seeing lots of leopard tortoises, so I'd imagine if the wives' tales are true, then we must be in for a little bit more rain. That's a cute thing to watch. Moving off. And it's gone. It's on a mission though. Andrew's tracking him better than I am. But I think we'll leave our leopard tortoise. Try and find the cheetah boys. We have been seeing a lot of leopard tortoises around at the moment. Gareth and I even went on a walk a few days ago and found a Specs hinged tortoise, so that was nice too. We definitely have, well, we see far more of the leopard tortoises than we do of any other type of tortoise. But there's a good population of the hinged tortoises too. I can feel it's going to be a beautiful day. We are going to get onto the fence in a minute. We're going to just take a turn and then get onto the fence. And then hopefully we'll be able to find the cheetahs along the fence or on one of these roads that lead to the fence. Like I was saying just now, if they were hungry, their patrol would be more haphazard than if they were full. If they're full and they're going on a territorial patrol, some impala have just run across the road. Doesn't mean much, because just sit here and listen for 1 minute. But those impala were chasing each other. They came this way and then they went that way. Pretty, isn't it? Look at how beautiful it is now. Sometimes animals like vervet monkeys will alarm call at cheetah. The impala prefer not to alarm call at cheetah because the cheetah are speed and kind of endurance predator, not like a wild dog or a hyena, so they're not considered endurance predators, but they'll chase their prey for quite a long period of time before they catch it at high speeds. And so an impala is unlikely to alarm call at a cheetah because by the time it's alarm call, the cheetah's already too close. The cheetah can cover long distances very quickly. Going to pay extra attention here. This is going to get us to the fence. We'll go a little bit along the fence and then we'll come down the next road to see if they've come east away from the fence, and then we'll go up the next road and get onto. We're just going to work this area thoroughly. I've got a little plan. Just going to check no tracks. Well, lots of tracks, but not for cheetahs. Mainly actually for white rhino. So, who knows? Maybe it's going to be like the elephants. We'll just say we've got really fresh elephant tracks and find the elephants, so now we've got really fresh rhino tracks. I'll buy you an ice cream if you spot them, Andrew. No, the cheetah. Problem with buying someone an ice cream is that by the time you've bought it and brought it home, it's already a milkshake. Don't worry, we can go together. Greater blue-eared starling just flew across the road. The other day, it was Christmas Day, Andrew found, well, we knew where the cheetah were, but from far away, he was like, there they are, on the road. So I'm hoping for a little bit of that same vibe, Andrew. In fact, they weren't far from where we are now on that day. Christmas. Okay. I'm going to quickly have a look. I'm going to walk and have a look and see if they track. We've come this far south. Oh, they've gone north here. and south. Oh my goodness, these cheetahs. Having a look. I'm gonna go south. I'm gonna head down the fence because more of the tracks are heading in that direction. They did pace up and down a little bit. I expected to go north.
Yeah, I'm in team coaching. I'm also 10 minutes responding to my line.
All right, everyone. There are tracks of cheetah that go both way. I think that they probably are a little hungry, to be honest, because they're not on one patrol moving in one direction. Are those them the tracks here, Andrew? Yes. Okay. Made the right call. Heading south. Yeah, still good tracks here. We've had some hyenas on the fence as well, walking up and down. They've actually covered quite a bit of distance in the time since they were called in this morning, which is really good. Maybe they'll come all the way back to Hayes, which is where we live. That would be a Christmas miracle. Morning, morning. No, that's why we're going this way.
Okay.
The tracks, I do have tracks.
You got tracks?
Yeah, heading south.
Then on the fence going towards Swadini Corner, because I didn't find any tracks of our male that side, but they did have our male on this side earlier.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And usually where our male is, the other two is normally on just on the other side.
Yeah. How long ago? So there was a cheetah seen on the other side of the fence earlier. And our cheetah, one second.
Starling?
Yeah.
Approaching the corridor that
So
the
good.
split between Lowveld and Lowveld. Can you just give me the exact
It does for broadcasting. It's great. Yeah.
So,
Okay. Yeah.
chasing dogs.
Anything really, but yes, wild dogs as well. A lot of conservation and a lot of presenting. Well, wild, like live streaming. Yeah. Yeah, hence the starling. We'll come with you. That's great, thank you. Okay, we're gonna go. Yeah, we'll see you there. So sorry about that, everybody. Oh. Let's go have a look. I don't know. These cheetah are gonna give us grey hairs today, I think. Woo. so close to the electric fence. So there's a male cheetah that is on the reserve next door. And sometimes there are tracks that go both ways. The fresher tracks to me seem to go south down the road. And I'm not really sure if this guide's reports were what he was trying to communicate, but basically there's at least one male cheetah on the fence up here, but there's only one. So, or it could only be one. And if that's the case, then our cheetahs aren't here. We can view somebody else's cheetah. It's not the end of the world. But it's not ideal, you know, through the fence. The thing that we are interested in is the fact that often if there's one cheetah on the fence, there's on their side, our two boys also come close, and then they have a little bit of spitting and snarling, and I'm the dominant male on this side and I'm the dominant male on this side, and posturing, but they never, obviously, because they never come to blows, which is great for them, even though if it were an open system they would fight. So we don't have enough information, and we don't have a radio channel to talk to anybody on that side. But I think what we'll do is we'll just go up and investigate what the situation is. Even if we have to turn around and come back down and check out what's going on here, that'll be fine. But let's see if maybe our males have done a U-turn somewhere and have gone back to tell the other male cheetah who's boss. What's that? Something is on the fence, Andrew, way at the top. I'll get binoculars. Sorry, it might be too far even for you. On our side, closer to the top of the hill, but maybe like a third of the way down. Is it an impala? Damn it. Just an impala? Ah. Kidding, there's nothing just about impalas. We need to be nicer to them. They do really, they play an important role in this ecosystem, the impalas. So, but when you're looking for a cheetah and you see fast movement, an impala that's not being followed by a cheetah is a bit of a, oh. Something these cheetah have learned to do, which is very naughty, is use the fence and other features to their advantage in their hunting process. So if you do see a confused herbivore close to the fence, sometimes it means that there's either cheetahs or wild dogs in the area. They are clever how they learn the process of hunting with fences. Not ideal, but also you got to give them some credit. Problem solving. This seems way further than he said. I feel like I've been led astray by the neighbors. I'm very dramatic. Very, very, very dramatic. Let's see. I was going to drive this portion of the fence anyway to check on where our male cheetahs could be. There are tracks that head up here as well, so they've really been up and down, which to me would indicate that they actually have had an interaction with the male on the other side of the fence, with there being tracks in both directions. It's just what they would do is they would posture and pace up and down and move a little bit with one another just to threaten one another. Our cheetahs are not pacing the fence because they feel contained. This reserve is massive. They have more than enough space to be normal wild cheetahs. So if you see pacing like that, it's an interaction that's occurred between two members of the same species usually. Although we've watched lions as well pace a fence, really chasing a nyala. And the nyala didn't really have the foresight to just think, oh, if I run into the bushes, they're on the other side of the fence. So there was quite a lot of following going on. What we'll do is we'll turn in at the next junction and then head back into this area. But my hope is dwindling.
How long ago did they call in the cheetah?
They called them in. We don't know when they called them in, but they called them in when we got on the car. When was that? We've been on the vehicle since like 5:15. So they could have moved quite fast since then. What I'm going to do is get off the fence at the next turn and then work our way south, but following the roads in the east, just to see if they've come back west. We're getting very close to the area where Blowbank, which is one of the farms, connects to Kaya and Global, which is another one of the farms. So, have they stopped there, Andrew? I think so. Let's just go have a quick look. Have a quick look and see. It looks like it's just the cheetah from the other side, but you know what? We've been looking for cheetah all morning. There's still tracks. So we'll try and show you a cheetah. And then we'll turn around and try and find our own ones. That driver was very excited to see us, and Andrew and I don't know him, so very cute. Oh, their tracks do also go this way. Interesting. I hope we can get a little tiny gap. We are right in the corner, in the corridor, but there's a cheetah, everybody. Put him on your side, Andrew. Yeah. That's fine. There are tracks both ways, so I'll go look in a minute. Sorry, dude. Yeah. They were here probably an hour ago. So I thought maybe they'd be here, but they're not. Beautiful to see a wild cheetah, even if it's on a different reserve. He's actually a really big boy. He's long. So you'll always know a cheetah from a leopard from that beautiful tear down its eye. And now it's obviously looking in a different direction. But there was a lovely marking on the face there. You can see it. And that's actually because they're such diurnal creatures. They're awake during the day. Being awake during the day means that they have to contend with the sun's rays, and of course they don't have sunglasses out here. So that dark patch beneath their eyes really helps with just getting rid of the glare so that they can hunt more effectively during the heat of the day. They're far more accustomed to being able to function in the heat compared to some of our other big cats. In areas like the desert areas where cheetahs are found in the Kalahari and those areas, they're actually so well desert adapted that technically a cheetah never needs to drink water in its entire life. It will, but being a desert adapted species, it can survive just on the moisture that it gleans from carcasses when it hunts. Very handsome. I'm very sorry that he's on the other side of the fence. That's a bummer for us. It's like an older male. It's great. I think we should trundle on and see where ours are. What do you think, Andrew? I think it would be best if we find our cheetahs on our side. I'm sure they're not far from here. Well, they must be because we had to drive quite far. It's good to see them though. I've only seen this male a couple of times. I wonder if it's the same male we see outside our own house. We are incredibly far, and their reserve is significantly even larger than our reserve. So I wonder if he's the same one we've seen very close to where we live. If that is the case, his territory is massive. But I think they have about 7 or 8 cheetah on the other side, so they have a substantial population as well. Let's see if we can find our boys, and they will be on our side. That's nice. Have fun. I don't know if you can hear that. And it stopped. Of course it stopped. It's a brew, a type of bird that sounds like it's making a phone call. These days, an olden day phone call. Nobody makes a phone call like that anymore. Their noise sounds like a telephone with a cord, a bungee, like spiral cord that attaches to the wall. I'm showing my age a little bit, actually. Andrew, did you ever see one of those phones in your life?
What, the spinning dial one?
Yes. No, Andrew's too young. Not the dial, the ones with the cable that was like a spring.
Oh, like a landline?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm not that old. Andrew knows what I'm talking about.
But I've never seen the one with the numbers in the circle that you spin 60 times.
Andrew has never seen a phone with the dial that spins. To be fair, I've never made a call on one of those. I've only ever played on them as a child. All right. We're going to see what we can do about finding our own cheetah. Because while he was beautiful and it was lovely to see a cheetah on the other side of the fence is not exactly what I was after for you this morning. And if we don't win with finding these cheetah on this drive, which I hope we do, but if we don't, then we're going to have to keep our search up on our next drive. Maybe we should just quickly check Lowveld of South. No, their tracks are further south. No, bad idea, Victoria. There's a dam not too far ahead of us, but their tracks seem to be going south, so I'm not going to get too distracted. I'm going to stay on the track, literally. Stay on track. Focus. It's easy to get distracted in this environment because everything's exciting, you know, and you think new possibilities, new things, new this, maybe that, maybe here, maybe there. So it's like being a detective, but then having to solve 6 different mysteries at once. And sometimes you solve 3 or 4 in a drive, and sometimes you leave all 6 unsolved. I really don't want to leave these ones unsolved. I'd like to solve these mysteries. Hold on. Picked up a little bit of pace just to get back into the area where we had the freshest tracks of them. It was down the fence, but I'm going to work the main road just west of the fence so that if they have come a little bit further west, we will be able to see them. And if they haven't, we'll then know, and we'll hop onto the road that does take us to the fence, but a little further south than where we were originally. And that way we'll be covering quite an extensive area on this reserve, and we will have worked it thoroughly enough to have a good idea, at least a good starting point of where to come next on our next drive. Where are you? Now that all of you know exactly what a cheetah looks like, because we just saw the neighbor's cheetah, you can help me look. Help me find him. There's also a couple of dams that they could get to. Maybe this evening, if Andrew and I come out, we'll look around Sequoia Dam, because they were there a little while ago and they were quite successful in hunting when they were there. And if they have moved throughout the day, or at least in the cooler parts of the day, they might need a drink. And like we've spoken about a number of times, of course there's seasonal water everywhere. But I do think that somewhere like Sequoia Dam would be a good place to search this afternoon. It's also where we had a leopard sighting a few weeks ago. When I say we, I mean Gareth. So, might be a nice plan if Andrew and I head out later. Just have to get a few more hints, a few more tips to figure out where everything could be. By everything, I mean these male cheetahs. I think I'm gonna go back down here and then hit the fence for a little while, because the tracks were on the fence line, although actually I'm not, because that car was coming up the fence and they never told us that they saw our cheetahs. So I'm gonna go onto the next junction and then I'll go down south from the fence there. Oh, there's still good rhino tracks here. Great rhino tracks. No. Oh, no.
Rhino bull on Rietspruit, south of the Boma, moving westward.
South of where? Okay. That's so funny. It's a rhino right where we left the elephants and the giraffe and the zebra. It's a herbivore convention. They've come this way, Andrew. Damn! Up here. Yeah. So, I don't know if we should just carry on. No, I think we should just carry on here and then get onto the airstrip. Boskamp airstrip. Yeah. Shall we turn around and follow the tracks? I think I'm gonna just turn around in that open patch. Okay, well at least we have tracks. That's a really good sign. They are really fresh and fabulous as well because they're not on the fence line. Let's keep going. Keep our heads down, keep our focus up. I wonder where Mabai is hiding. To find her as well. She's our resident female cheetah. You see them there? With her bee. They have really good cheetah tracks. We must be just behind them now. Mabai has a cub. A big cub. A 14-month-old cub. Don't want to crunch any dung beetles. Okay. Eyes peeled, eyes peeled. Is there something in the road on the left-hand side? Super far away. Let's have a peep. And then we get binoculars. No, damn, it looked so promising. It was very promising. Getting hot now.
So good.
It does look so good. It still looks so good. Andrew and I are just marveling at the rocks that we thought were a cheetah. And even though we know that they're rocks, and they're small rocks, but they've just like they're perfectly positioned to be able to deceive our eyesight. Make us think, oh no, surely that's a cheetah. There's a kudu. A female kudu. Is it a female? Yeah, female. She would not hang around if she thought that there was a cheetah watching her. Especially not two big males. They would definitely be able to give her a hard time. What a lovely lady. A lovely female kudu. Now I'd anticipate that there's more than one kudu in the area. It's because they're often not alone. But she could be on her own. Nothing is prescriptive out here. Excuse me, girl, can I please just get past you on this road? This is my only way. You have all of the wild for your own use. Thank you. There you go, there's quite a few of them actually. At least 3 that I can see. Maybe more. So Andrew says we should check the airstrip where we were looking for Lula and Kalula and the bull they've been spending time with. It's very possible that they are heading in that direction, these male cheetah. I am struggling to find any more tracks. It's also possible that they've given us the slip and gone in a different direction, but we're going to commit to our plan. We're going to check the airstrip and then who knows, maybe that rhino who was not far from there is in that area. We'll just have to see. We shall see. We're here. Not seeing them yet, but I think we should do a new segment. I've decided. We will use it from the new year. We will call it the Mountain Marvel Minute because we marvel at the mountain on every single drive. So let's give ourselves 1 minute to marvel at how beautiful the Northern Drakensberg are. pretty good new thing to add, don't you think? Our mountain marvel minute. Perhaps on sun drives we'll have to have 2 mountain marvel minutes, because sometimes the lighting changes and then the mountain looks even more exquisite. It's always worth spending time watching or looking at the mountain. I love it in the morning. I love it any time of the day. I love the mountain. But in the morning it's so pretty. You can see so much of it because the sun is rising on the other side. So it's just illuminating a lot of that mountain. So you're seeing the textures. It's beautiful. Really very wonderful. This will be a good place to check this afternoon as well for those cheetah. Perhaps it's just going to be a day of cheetah focus. Sounds like a plan. Figuring out where our cheetahs are and what they're doing. I wonder if we go on into the same area where the elephants were, if we'll get lucky with that rhino that was called in there maybe 15 minutes ago. We may very well. That would be quite a fun thing to see on this drive to a rhino. I always love a rhino. Okay. Let me.
Heading towards Lowveld Dam at the moment. What's your look? I'm also here on about Gareth, heading towards the Poole.
I think people are looking for the elephants we left earlier. Interesting. Because, well, I guess they were moving into the thicket, but there's a couple of roads around that area that could be used to access. Where they were. Animals move quite quickly, even when they look like they're feeding slowly. So a herd of elephants or those 2 bulls might have started out in an area looking quite relaxed and like they're going to just feed there, but very quickly as they move and feed, they transition through different areas, and if you want to go find them in an hour, they could be roughly in the same place, but they could be very far from where you left them.
Very much.
Okay. It'd be nice to see this rhino bull. I'd actually like to see him. I'd like to see who it is. They are looking for those elephants. Pardon? I thought I heard Andrew chatting, but he's actually very quiet.
Okay.
Because it's not far from the airstrip, I would imagine that if this is the male, the rhino that I think it could be the male that's been hanging out with Lula and Kalula. There's a male who's been spending a lot of time with the ladies. There's a beautiful giraffe. No way! Okay, there's lion tracks here, but I swear I also saw a cheetah track. No, I highly doubt it. I think I'm just confusing it. There's lion tracks all along here. No, there are cheetah tracks here and they're fresh. Check. But maybe it's not the boys. Pardon?
Could be the boys.
It might be, but I think it's also likely that it could be.
It could even be a snake.
The elephants are more responding. Just here on Leopard Dam Road junction compact.
I mean,
Coming out to
the giraffe are all focusing in a direction, except for that one. There are tracks of cheetah here. This would be the most epic day of tracking and searching if we could find them. Here they are. They're on the termite mound in front of us. Yes, Andrew! What a day. Okay, I'm gonna... These guys have moved unbelievably far, and other vehicles have definitely also driven past them. I'll turn around for you, Andrew. Hi, guys. We've been looking for you on the other end of the reserve, but we've also had your tracks all the way. So nice to see you. Nice of you to show up. Stations there, 2 male cheetahs on Hoofpad Route, the junction with Bomapat. They're stationary on a termite mound. Wow, I'm super excited about this. Very, very exciting. So I cannot articulate how far these males have walked today. They have been on a mission. They were found where we saw that male, the other male cheetah, they were found there. And for them to have moved all the way here in an hour and a half, obviously it's possible because they've done it, but they've seriously moved.
I'm leading elephant herd.
And I think that
3 stations unlocked.
now they're going to be hungry. So this evening's going to be a good time to come and watch them because they probably will try and make a kill. I mean, let me try and figure out how far they would have moved today. We're looking at about 6 or 7 kilometers if they walked as the crow flied. Flied, that's beautiful English. As the crow flies. So that's maybe 4.5 miles. I don't know, my maths. I mean, I just quickly done that in my head, but roughly 6 to 7 Ks that they've walked since they were last seen. And they also spent a bit of time milling up and down, probably interacting with that other male. So maybe they've just decided, actually, let's move away from him. We can get out of this area. This is so cool. I thought that I was going absolutely crazy when I saw cheetah tracks on the, oopsie, something spooked them. So that's a typical cheetah response, everybody, to a little bit of danger. They are... Okay, so a cheetah is one of the lowest ranking in the predator pecking order, the large predator pecking order. And so naturally they're far more jittery than any of the other species, and they have to be more jittery because their response to danger is to run away from it. And in order to be able to run away from danger, you need to see the danger first. So any time that they feel spooked by something, that'll be their response. And they're both lying on the same side of the termite mound, which means they have a massive blind spot. Something could sneak up on them on using the termite mound as cover. Now, nothing pursues and hunts cheetah as food, but go ahead, Glenn. Affirmative. Hoofpad, Bomerpad Junction. Okay, so what I was saying is that nothing hunts. Oh my goodness, okay. There's lots of people who are very excited about our cheetahs. All this, my brain just fuzzed up with a radio fuzz. No, so lions and leopards and hyenas, they don't hunt cheetahs, but there's interspecific competition between the cheetahs and other big carnivores. And so any big carnivore will try and kill the other big carnivores, particularly the young of other big carnivores. So cheetah just have to be really vigilant, considering that they're not as strong as some of the other ones. But these guys have done an amazing job. We see them pretty regularly. Fence and line is what we call them, because they're often found on the fence line. We say fence is the one without the collar and line is the one with the collar. But that's more affectionate than it is their real names. It's just a bit of a joke. Something you can see quite nicely, particularly on the male in front, is how flat his tail is. The top half of the tail, how beautifully flat that is for navigation, and like a rudder, he's able to run and steer himself using that at top speeds. That really helps him keep his balance, and it helps him move in the direction that he wants to. Of course, moving his head and his upper body will also do that. But it's a balance thing. Cheetah are absolutely immaculately designed for the job that they do, which is sprinting. Their anatomy is perfect for high speed. They're a light build, they've got long legs, their shoulders are not actually even attached to their body with bony attachment. It's all muscle sheaths and, you know, the more nimble things like tendons and ligaments and muscles that attach the shoulders in a kind of like a sling, and that helps them get so much more length out of each stride when they're at their top speeds, because the shoulder blades can rotate much further back to be able to extend the leg out, and then much further forward to be able to push the leg forward, the body forward. They are really designed for their speed. And then they have very tightly bound wrists that don't actually have that much mobility in them, And that helps with stability when they're at their top speeds. And then if you move down the body to the paws, they've got quite a bit of ridging on their pads. And the ridging on their pads is like the traction on a tire. It helps them with grip when they are running really fast. So they are very, very perfectly designed. He's up. Look how skinny he is. They could really use a meal. He's on the move. He's just checking out the surroundings. I'm sure these cheetah have maybe not been here long, but at least a little bit. The rhino that was called in that we were chatting about on our way into this area was also seen in this area, so it's pretty fantastic. Everything's happened. If we had just sat in this area, scent marking now. This is what I was talking about earlier, the fact that they're on probably on a territorial patrol, and they must be. They are on the move. We have about 2 or 3 minutes left. So we'll see where they go. They are in high demand this morning. Everybody wants to view them, so we'll go with them. We'll go for a little while and then we'll give somebody else a turn. Does that sound fair? Yay! What a successful morning. My goodness me. I feel like we put the time in though. It worked. I've never tracked cheetah this far. I'm gonna try my best. We're gonna angle to the right, so I might try and no. Let's just pull over and get one more nice look of them, and then we'll let somebody else have a chance. Very vigilant. Fantastic. They really are on their way to our house. Perhaps they'll come and spend the day with us. Wouldn't that be fun? Oh, can you see it? Oh. Everybody's all excited about him in the tree. So they do this for vantage. They want to be a little bit higher so that they can see a little bit further, perhaps identify where the prey species are or if there's any danger. But he's hopped up so that he can see further. He might even scent mark up there. Wouldn't surprise me. Hop down. Gonna lie in the shade. Okay. We have extended a little bit and it's totally wonderful, but there are so many people who are so excited to see them. So I think we're gonna give everybody else a little bit of a chance to come and spend some time with our beautiful cheetah brothers. But everybody, thank you for coming along on this huge epic adventure and our search for the cheetahs. I'm so thrilled with how it turned out. We'll see you next time. Bye.